Welcome back, viewers. You're watching Jamoni Media and Product. It's your news review time. We now begin with our headlines. Gambia Revenue Authority says Africell is top taxpayers paying over $100 million every month. Man in court for alleged defilement of underage girl. Charles III is now British new king as Queen Elizabeth II dies. No food for inmates at Barra and Amdalai police station. Experts suspect paracetamol behind mass death of children with kidney injury. Bob Keita trial DNA samples taken to Ghana for test. Those were the headlines. We now have the news in detail. The Commissioner General of the Gambia Revenue Authority has confirmed that telecom giant Africell is the top taxpayer. Commissioner General Yankuba Dabo said the company pays over $100 million in taxes every month, totaling over $1.2 billion annually. The country is expected to be increasingly dependent on its taxes under a global crisis where grants hardly come by and loans are unsustainable. Speaking exclusively to the Standard, Commissioner General Dabo explained, he can tell you a lot of companies in the country are tax compliant, but Africell is on top in terms of highest taxpayers. They receive over $100 million every month from Africell as taxpayer obligation. These are different taxes lines starting from corporate tax, excise tax, VAT, among others. He said Jar Oil and others are also paying millions of dollars every month, even though they are piped with Africell. Jar Oil used to pay roughly over $50 million a month when things were normal. But like he said, QCell, Atlas, the banks, Nawek, Gambia Ports Authority, and many other state-owned enterprises also paying their taxes on time, though not as big as Africell, but they don't joke with their taxes, he added. As indicated of the strides they have made in terms of collection, the Gambia Revenue Authority boss said his authority used to take the likes of Nawek and Gamtel to court to pay their taxes, but that has changed. Now all these institutions have realized that they need to pay their taxes because without that, the government cannot cooperate without taxes, he noted. He said increasingly a lot of individuals are becoming very compliant with tax payments. The truth is that no institution wants to part its money. He just thanked those who are tax compliant for taking that bold step to fulfill their tax obligations to the country, because without those monies being paid, the government will find it difficult to fund them. They are very grateful to all those companies and individuals who are coming forward to pay their taxes because it is a big sacrifice, but it is something that has to be done, he emphasized. Also speaking to the Standard, GRA Deputy Commissioner General Esa Jallo said the authority appreciates all the companies who are compliant with taxpayers and urge those who are still reluctant to change and become compliant. 20-year-old man was arraigned before Principal Magistrate Muhammad Kurubali of the Brucebi Court, charged with one count of defilement of a 16-year-old girl in Brufut in July. When the charge was read and translated, the accused person Abu told the court he accepted part of it and also denied some part of it. In response, Magistrate Kurubali stated that when an element of doubt exists in a criminal case, the case should be resolved in favor of the accused and therefore entered a plea of not guilty in favor of the accused. Police prosecutor Inspector A. Bojang applied for an adjournment to enable him to call witnesses. The prosecution did not object to bail for the accused. The magistrate then granted young Abu bail in the sum of $100,000 with two responsible Gambian sureties, in order that the sureties must swear to the facts in the affidavit that they will ensure the appearance of the accused in subsequent court proceedings, and that in the event that the accused fails to appear or absconds in the jurisdiction, they will fulfill the bail bond to the state. The case will be resumed on the 20th October for hearing. Britain's Crown Prince has become king following the death of his long-reigning mother, Britain's Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth was Britain's longest reigning monarch. She ascended to the throne in 1952 and in June celebrated her Platinum Jubilee, marking 70 years as Queen. Her eldest son Charles, Prince of Wales, will take his mother's place on the British throne as King. He will be crowned as King Charles III. Charles' wife Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, will become known as Queen Consort. Charles will succeed her late mother as the head of the Commonwealth, of which the Gambia is a member. Suspects being detained at the Barra and Amdalai police stations are not allocated funds for feeding, forcing police officers to dip into their pockets to feed them. The National Assembly Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters had on Monday. The committee is scrutinizing conditions at detention centers as part of its second phase of inspections, prisons, and detention centers across the country to bring them to line with acceptable standards. The committee, chaired by Serekunda West member Honorable Marisise, visited the police station to assess human rights conditions of detainees in their cells. The only human rights issue that the committee is able to detect in this area, Barra and Amdalai stations, is the feeding for the inmates. If you are arrested and taken to a cell, you need to be fed by the police, but actually, these two police stations are saying they are not getting funding from the police headquarters as prisoners. When they pressurize them, they understand the case is, they discover that the station officers in these stations are not requesting for the fundings for the feeding inmates. As far as the National Assembly member knows, they have faced these kinds of things in the first round of visits, and some adjustments were made in the past budget to cover these areas. So it is now for the station officers to make formal requests to the police headquarters so that they get funding for the prisoners. The National Assembly member Honorable Sise explained, even as inmates, they have rights and they have to be respected, and they have their proper feedings and accommodation to take care of their health, a United Democratic Party National Assembly member charged. He said the committee will compile a report after its inspections and provide recommendations that will improve the human rights to the country, especially for those arrested, detained, and under prosecution or convicted. After compiling their report, they will invite all the security chiefs to Parliament for them to respond to their concerns and observations, Chairman Sise stated. Reliable medical sources have told the Standard that the health authorities are seriously analyzing whether too much concentration of famous painkiller, paracetamol tablet, or the syrup have been behind many deaths of children with acute kidney injury last month. The sources said that some after preliminary results of an investigation on the causes of AKI, which killed 28 children, confirmed the presence of paracetamol in their liver and their kidneys of the deceased children. The sources further disclosed that some of the samples were sent to Senegal. In fact, some of them, the sick children, were sent to Senegal and even died there, the source alleged. The Standard contacted the Director of Health Services, Dr. Mustafa Bite, on these developments, and he confirmed that all the patients were found to have paracetamol in their systems, but nothing is concrete. They have to give the public facts right now. Their investigations have revealed two things. One is E. coli, which is already isolated, when the other one they are thinking could be paracetamol. Paracetamol was found in all of them, where it has been dangerous labeled or not yet determined. They are waiting for the evidence, and the laboratory is asking some questions regarding the time these people have get the paracetamol tablet. Dr. Bide added that the matter is treated seriously by his ministry as it digs into the circumstances surrounding the AKI. The results of the DNA examinations in Bob Keita's rape trial are expected by next week, the Standard has reliably informed. The samples have been flown to Ghana. The state had applied for the High Court to grant an order for DNA examination to take in December last year, which the defense opposed. However, on the 7th July 2022, the court ruled in favor of the prosecution for DNA tests to be conducted, but the defense declined to take part in the sample collection, urging that it had already fled an appeal against the High Court's ruling at the Gambia Court of Appeal, and that it would not undermine the process. That appeal is still pending. Bob Keita subsequently refused to enter the hospital to witness the sample collection from baby Muhammad, having been taken there from mile 2. The sample collection still went ahead. Senior State Counsel Alassane Job told the Standard that blood samples were taken from Bob and Pam Modu, blood samples and check swabs taken from alleged victim, while blood samples to toenail and molar were taken from Baby Muhammad. One of the reasons they took these samples from Baby Muhammad is to allay fears that they might have been taking blood samples from Bob Keita's children. That's why they took and his toenail. That way, no one will say that they took the blood samples from his kids. The lab also recommended these samples, Counsel Job said. He added that the police foreign officer who took the samples to Ghana for DNA examination would wait for the results. They wrote to the defense that the accused requested for their presence at the collection, but they both refused to come. This was done on Tuesday at 10 p.m. as the foreign officer goes straight from the hospital to the airport to catch his flight, which was due to depart on 6:50 a.m., he told the Standard. The doctor or whoever conducted the DNA examination in Ghana is expected to testify as an expert witness when the trial resumes on the 5th October 2022. Meanwhile, legal recommendations say the DNA test results will not be revealed to the public until the court resumes next month. Those were the stories. Thank you for joining us. With your presenter, Maria Magdalene. Do have a wonderful weekend.